Yves Bissouma, which obviously we all know about by now. We actually got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano last night. Maybe everyone was asleep during, when that happened, but he did give the here we go on Yves Bissouma, which is very, very exciting. And now there are reports that Yves Bissouma is currently undergoing a medical at Hotspur Way as we speak, and the announcement could be as close as by the end of the week, could even be today if we're lucky. So we have the Evening Standard saying that that Yves Bissouma is currently undergoing a medical. We have Simon, what's his name? Simon Collins of the Evening Standard saying that personal terms have not been an issue to agree with Yves Bissouma. He's excited by the prospect of working under Conte and playing in the Champions League. Chris Hughton also quoted in the Athletic saying he's very talented on the ball, happy to receive it in tight areas with a lovely knack of driving past players. Really good business for Spurs. That obviously is getting a lot of people very, very excited. Yves Bissouma's personal trainer confirming pretty much that he's currently at Hotspur Way doing his medical. He posted a picture on Instagram saying he deserves he's saying best of luck Yves Bissouma with his medical at Spurs official. He deserves Champions League football. That's his personal trainer. So very, very exciting news, and looks like we can expect an announcement any time, or looks like could happen today, most likely tomorrow, but very, very exciting.
Oh, it's been the talk for 2 days, hasn't it? And we just want to get this done. It looks like it is moving a lot quicker than it normally does. We're getting this job done, and we're getting it done quickly, and it is an awesome signing. It's a fantastic addition. You can hear how, like I said, his personal trainer, Chris Hughton, other people, even there's other fans saying this is pound for pound signing of the season already. It's an exceptional signing.
Yeah, and look, I think he comes obviously with a big reputation of one of the most underrated centre mids, I think, in the Premier League for me. And I think also the fact that he comes at 25, not having played in Champions League yet, and not just that, not really competed at the higher end of the Premier League since he's been here. So he comes probably very, very hungry as well. He comes with something that he probably shows he needs to prove himself in terms of establishing himself as one of the top midfielders in the league. If he does that at Spurs, that's how he will be recognised. And it's different if you bring in maybe I'm just seeing quotes from someone like say Paul Pogba, who claims that Man United didn't offered him a contract which was basically equivalent to nothing when he was offered a 300 grand a week contract. And like that kind of attitude, he won't bring that. He's going to bring an attitude of, I'm here to show I'm the best because since being in the Premier League, I've probably overestimated people how I've performed for Brighton, but I need to do it at a stage where I'm part of the Premier League top 6, one of those clubs, and when he does it there, then he'll get the praise he fully deserves, the respect as one of the top midfielders, and that's probably what he has to prove.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, he's going from being a big fish in a smaller pond to a smaller fish in a huge pond, where eyes will be on him. There's a lot expected of him. We saw in the video we did yesterday that he's got all the attributes to do it, and the ones where he's lacking, a coach that we have in Antonio Conte, we've seen what he can do with players that we thought were out of the squad and out of the team. So it's a recipe for success, really, isn't it?
Definitely. And I honestly, he's obviously got everyone very, very excited. I wonder if he'll take Harry Winks' number 8 shirt if Winks is to leave. Maybe we're waiting for Winks to go so we can announce him in the number 8
Maybe.
shirt. That'll be very, very nice if he gets that. That'll be an indication of how we see him for next season. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting, the fight for those centre mid positions, won't it, next season with Bissouma coming in? Because we're obviously adding him to Bentancur, Skip and Højbjerg. Skip obviously coming back from injury for the pre-season, who I think is one of the best up-and-coming young English centre midfielders in the league. Then you've got Højbjerg and Bentancur, who are established right now as our starting two. So it's going to be interesting to see who he plays in which games and who he thinks is the best out of the lot, because those are 4 high-quality centre midfielders. And finally, you look at those 4 options and you're thinking, whether who comes in or who plays, there isn't too much of a drop-off in quality now in centre mid.
No, not that. Not only that, but you think the four of them having all the quality they do have, it's going to make them raise their game even more to make sure they are on the starting. They do cross the white line on a Saturday or whatever day the game may be. So the competition for places is now going to be fierce. We've had it too long where when Aurier was there, he knew he was right back because we didn't have an equivalent, or when Skip or Winks got in the team because he knew that's over. Those days of just walking into the team because you are who you are over.
Well, look at Hojbjerg and Bentancur. We had no other option, did we?
Exactly.
In the second half of the season, it's like you have to play, and if you have a bad game, well, you still have to play.
Exactly. Whereas now it's like you have a bad game.
Well, then there's Skip and there's Bissouma.
Exactly.
And there's the older players waiting in the wings. So I think in terms of how we looking at our midfield options now, or like I would say you probably need a bit more variety, maybe add an Eriksen in there. But once you add that creative midfielder, we have some of the best options right now in the league. Obviously, Liverpool have like the likes of Fabinho and Keita and Henderson and Thiago, obviously very, very good technicians. City have Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. Like, we don't have players like in terms of on the ball quality like that, but off the ball we have some of the strongest, most physical centre mids you could ask for. And I think when Bissouma adds, he's going to add some technical quality as well on the ball. So I'm really excited about how our options going to next season in the centre mid. We just need to add maybe one more creative midfielder, and I'll be very happy.
That's it. I think Eriksen or a creative midfielder is the final piece in the midfield jigsaw, isn't it? Yeah. That's the one key thing. It's lacking that key killer pass, that vision, the skill to pull off a difficult pass or see the difficult pass is, I think, the one thing that is missing from this cocktail of midfielders that we are now getting in. And Eriksen looks like it's the number one target, isn't it? If he comes in, that midfield is as solid as they come.
Yeah, I agree. And also gives us tactical flexibility as well. Can play with the three in the middle, can play with the two in the middle. And all those, what I like as well is all those midfielders, unlike when we had like Ndombele there or Lo Celso, where whenever they came in, it's always like question marks over their work rate, and they've all on their discipline in central midfield, and also how they always left it wide open, and it was always a big problem for us. But now, whoever we play there, you can trust that we're always going to be solid and we're always going to be difficult to break down, and no one's going to be letting the team down with any of those options there.
Well, the thing you got to remember as well, as we were talking with October with 9 games, at least now there is strength in depth. There is the chance for game management or squad rotation or resting a player. So that this is what we've been lacking for ages. As you were saying with Hojbjerg and Bentancur, if they had a bad game, they still play. This will give us and Conte the opportunity to actually say, right, listen, this game's coming up. We need you for the Champions League. You're going to rest out on this game, or we're going to put you on the bench. So this midfield department is looking very, very exciting.
100%. So, look, Bissouma's currently at Hotspur undergoing a medical, so that's very, very exciting, and we'll give you any news that gets updated from the Bissouma medical. More on that transfer as well. The Evening Standard have reported that Spurs want 3 more transfers after the Bissouma signing. Obviously, we've been told as well he wants 4 more, and by other people, and some people say 5 more, but Evening Standard saying 3 more, and they're saying he wants another centre back, he wants a right wing back, and he wants a creative midfielder. Obviously Jed Spence looks like that could be progressing any day now. The creative midfielder, it looks like we're either after Eriksen, or if he does go to Man United, we could be looking at Lucas Paqueta from Lyon. So those are a couple of options. Then that leaves a centre back, and obviously if Bastoni, we don't believe that's fully dead. That's one that could drag on for a bit. Otherwise, maybe go for a Pau Torres. But definitely, those are the options that we're looking at. Centre back, a right wing back. What did I say?
And a forward.
And a forward as well.
I think the creative midfielder, I think we're already adding as in done deal. So I think Eriksen will get done.
You reckon?
I reckon it will. I think the only problem is that Man U.
Sorry, well, you know what? The report actually didn't say creative midfielder. It said centre back, wing back, and forward. Yeah, that's what the report said.
So it could be Spence, Bastoni, Richarlison, which are the 3
one Richarlison.
And let's face it, if that does happen, if we don't get the 4th, it will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I
it's
would
about
like a little bit of
outgoings.
creativity as well. So I think we probably should be looking at 4 more, I would say. Because I do think we need that creative midfield. I do think we obviously need a wing back and a centre back, and I think we need a forward as well. We need all of those.
Like I said to you earlier,
To really
before
complete
we
the
were fair,
squad.
I still think it is 4. I think it's 3 and 1 where we're going to play about and have like a typical Daniel Levy deadline day drama one. Which if he gets those other 3 in, fine, absolutely fine. Do what you want to do. But we'll have to wait and see. I still think it's going to be 4. It's 3 for sure and 1 in the back pocket if anything comes up. Like we did with Regulon. Do you remember we said we weren't going for a left back unless a particular one becomes available, and then we went bang, he's available. I think there may be one of those in his pocket.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of what is most essential for you, where would you rank in terms of those 4 signings, most essential to least essential?
Bastoni.
As in position-wise?
Oh, left centre back. Because if we can get, if Dyer starts at the beginning of next season, not going to be unhappy, won't be ecstatic, but certainly he's proved himself to be able to start in the thing in that position. But if you can get a Romero and a Bastoni either side of them, that could be a partnership that becomes Toby and Jan like. That are 2 solid, proper defenders that do their job. And I think, like I said, when they say strikers win your games, defences win your championships, I think that's where we've needed to get protection in, numbers in for the last season or 2, and let's try and get that addressed right away.
So you'd say centre-back?
So, here we go. Now, right wing back,
Right wing back
because
next.
that we've still been trying to sort that since Walker, so that's like what I say with defence.
And then what's one forward, a forward or a creative midfielder?
Okay, so if I had to go Ericsson or Richarlison, I think I can't believe I'm going to say this. It's you wearing me down and Bob Spur. I think I'm going to say Richarlison.
Oh, really? You'd rather Richarlison over
I think I
Eriksen?
would, because it just. The only reason I say that is it just gives us cover. Should one of them get an injury or a suspension, or we need to rest them, if we take one of those 3 out, they're on. You know what I mean? The goals, we know they've been our most potent scorers. We need other people to chip in, and yes, Ericsson coming in could help it. But I just think if it was to be out Richarlison or Ericsson, I'm going to slightly side with Richarlison.
Interesting. I think I would agree. I think I'd rather a forward, just because if we do fail to get a creative midfielder, at least we can rely on the fact that we have good forwards and we have a solid base to start with. Whereas if we don't get a forward and we do get a creative midfielder, I'm worried we could be lacking with options going forward. And if we do get a big injury to Kane or Son, then we could be in big trouble.
Exactly.
And as much as we can have creativity, we might not have someone who with the ability to make the most out of it. So obviously, in a perfect world, I want both, and I'm hoping we're pushing for both. I do think a forward's probably a bit more important to me than a creative midfielder, but I think we do need that bit of creativity to help the team solve some problems when we encounter them. Because sometimes we do come up against teams who know how to play against us, and it becomes very, very difficult to counteract that without the required either creativity or dribbling ability, which we sometimes lack.
Yep. So I mean, the only thing I will say, look how potent those 3 were up top last season without a creative midfielder. So if one of them got injured, whether it be a Kulu or whoever it may be, at least we know we can still create. So we would need cover there, because it would be Dane Scarlett on the bench or whoever it may be. So for me, Richarlison's slightly over Ericsson for me. If it came down to one or the other, if we got the other ones in.
All right. So that is the updates so far. Obviously, anything that breaks or that happens, we will be reporting to you as soon as it happens.